Right, evening guys. So, anyone that knows me will know me rolling banoffee for myself can only really mean one thing, and that is back. I'm going back to a place that I need to go back to. I've got unfinished business on there and I need to finish it off, and I should never have left it in first place, to be honest with you. I love low stock, big pits. Now, mozzie, a lot of fish died in mozzie, which kind of put me off the place. But in a way, nothing lasts forever. So eventually they were going to die anyway. I don't think nothing was done to them. I just think that they were very old fish. I mean, if you look back at the original stocking on YouTube, you will actually see what I think is the big common being stocked. I'm pretty sure that common in that video is the big common. So you're talking a long time ago. You know what, nothing lasts forever, guys. So it's it got me thinking. I've been talking to another guy I know from down on Treaton, and he'd really like to get back on there. Well, he's only done it a couple of times, I think he said, but he'd really like to do it. Now, this guy is a good lad, and I can't think of anybody better, really, that I'd rather fish it with. I will be perfectly honest with you. I mean, apart from like Baz, and I'd like Baz to drop back on it with us, but I can't see it happening with Baz. He's just so disheartened in the place now. I don't think he'll ever really have his heart will ever be fully in that place again. But those fish are getting, Nat was very nice size. There's a few 30s in there now, at least 2 over 30 pound. Now that's not big by most people's standards that will probably be watching this on YouTube. They'll think, so what, at 30 pound, you know what I mean, you get one of them all day long at Old Mill and these other pellet pig farms. Well, these fish have got to this size through the vast amount of their life eating natural food. Shrimp, freshwater shrimp, bloodworm, snails, slugs, which I've never seen as many slugs in my life as what you see on River Valley, and midge larva and just everything that's natural to them in aquatic life. That's how they've got to that size. And I mean, a fish at just under 30 pound out of there, it's a really big fish, that, for a water that back when I had that big common, it had not seen much bait at all. There were only a few of us that were fishing it, and it weren't seeing much bait whatsoever, really, for a pit of that size. Now there's a lot of talk going round, but there's no fishing, there's only a handful of fish left, and this and that. Listen, this is what I'm on about today, and this is what I want to get through to people. Same applies to Treaton. Right, they're both really big pits, gravel pits. So some of you are saying that, oh, there's only this fish, there's only so many fish. Listen, let me tell you now, if a fish can go missing in Abbey Lakes and Gigantica that are fished every single day of the year, and when I say fished every single day of the year, I mean pretty much every peg is booked every single year by majority of the best anglers in the world are fishing them places. So if a fish can go missing in them places for 12 years, which one did not long back, turned up after 12 years, they thought it were dead. turned up at 12 years at all-time weight, biggest fish in Gigantica. So what I'm trying to say to you is, you've got to have a very big fucking head on your shoulders and think you're an ultra great angler to think that there ain't fish in these two pits that have never seen an hook. For a start, you've got one side of treating hardly anyone fishes. You know, in all the last year I were on there, I only saw one guy fishing the wood bank, and that was Dean, and he fished it for a night. Now, I learnt a lot while I was fishing Rother Valley about big pit fishing, and especially big pit carp. Now, I know 100% that these carp are loyal to certain areas. And when I say that, what I mean by that is, they will, majority of the time, they will come from a part of the lake, where especially the bigger, older fish, will come from a part of the lake on several occasions. Now, the proof of this was, well, when I say this, I don't mean a metre by a metre. I mean as on a gravel pit, chop it in half, chop it into a quarter, and it'll probably come from that quarter of pit. Now, it could just be, it knows where there's good food source there, and it sticks to it. It's same with the ghost carp that's in there. Always comes from the same part of the lake, always. It's the they do get around, you will see them around, travelling around, but what I'm saying to you is, majority of those fish will have an area that they favour. They're just like a person would, you know what I mean? It's so to say that there's no fish in there and it ain't worth fishing, you're listening to, as far as I'm concerned, idiots. Because they to say that, that's just, it's just arrogant, you know what I mean? It's like, what you're saying back when you said that then is, what you're really saying is, if I ain't caught it, it's not in there. That's what you're really saying. Which, in my view, is absolutely ridiculous. So it's going to be back to Rother Valley for me, guys. I'm going to get back onto Rother Valley. I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to get as much bait knocked up as possible. The first thing I want from there is, I ain't struggling across that field anymore. I'm getting too old for all that shit. I want an electric barrow motor for a pot barrow. It's a slog, especially when it's been raining across that field. It puts you off on it to fish it. So I want in a barrow. Sorry about going off screen, guys. I'm wanting a barrow with a motor in it for that reason. I'm not ashamed to say, it's getting harder and harder for me to travel across them big things with all that kit. But I'll do it if there's fish there. I'll do it. It's got to be done on it. So, yep, from next year, it's all changed. My things all changed. I'm gonna do treating with Paul. Whenever he wants to go on treating, I will do treating with Paul. But the vast majority of my fishing is going to be on Rother Valley. There's two we're fishing there that I dearly would love to catch, and one of them is one my brother had. What we named the elusive mirror, because it had never been seen before. It had not seen bank before. None of us had seen it before. There again, you know what I mean? A mirror turns up like that. None of us had seen it before, do you know what I mean? And then single scale. I want single scale out of there. It's just something I need to do, you know what I mean? I need to in fishing, I need to have these challenges. I need to set myself a target and I need to keep going, I might not have it in one season. Do you know what I mean? I may not have it in one season, but eventually I will have it. And the other thing's this as well, is the last time I fished the place was in March. It was when my brother had that fish. But the other thing's this, is before that, me and our younger, we went on, and I had a few fish that I'd never ever seen before in any photos on there. Now, they haven't died. They haven't died. There's no signs of them dying. I've not heard about them dying or all like that. So they're still in there. Now, a lot of decent baits going in there now. I walk round a bit round River Valley. It's a place I love. So I walk round and I always keep my eye. The first thing I check is bait. Bait and catch reports are what people are putting on. Now, a lot don't put the catch reports on from River Valley because they still think it's a secret. But let me tell you this, it's the worst kept secret in South Yorkshire. When we fished it years ago, it was a secret. No one knew about it. And then news travelled far and wide about the place. Which again, I don't care. I've just put the big common on treat and side. Now, I didn't know what to do about it. I didn't know where to put it on. I didn't know what to do with it. Because a few lads I know are after that fish, and the more fish in it, obviously the less chance of them catching it. Because I can tell you now, that fish will probably only come out once or twice a year. It's just no different to the big common in River Valley. No different whatsoever. So, yep, it's back to River Valley, guys, as far as I'm concerned. It needs to be done, and that's hence the Banoff here being rolled. Baiting starts soon. Not yet, soon. Very soon. So it's I'm going to give it them in barrel form this time. So that's what they're going to be getting. It's a lovely bait as well. It's a really nice bait. It's full of coconut. Plenty of full value in it for them to come back yet. It's one thing I noticed on River Valley. The better full value bait you could give them on there, the more they come back. And I will also be using them over the top, which is their Dinos and off the pop-ups. So yeah, that's where we're at. It's really all changed from. I've been getting someone to fish with me. I mean, it's hard work for me really, because majority of kids I fish with, they want to fish ponds where they're going to catch fish after fish after fish after fish, which I don't blame them if that's what they want to do, you know what I mean. But it ain't for me, that, you know. I ain't into getting up at 2:08 at night for the 6-pounder. It's just, and to be honest with you, and I'm not joking, and I don't want to sound as though a bit like blasé about it, but treating is kind of it's like I've just said, I don't know what's in there, and every time I go there and I stand there staring out at that water, it goes through me what is in there. Nobody knows what's truly in there. This fish being purring all the time, donated by fucking one fish farm and then another fish farm and another fish farm. Now, if this has been going on for years and years, why are these fish not showing up all the time? And if 50 and 60 carp are being added, even if every year, then explain this to me. Why are these carp, which Tony puts photos of the fish on, why are they not being seen again? after. Do you know what I mean? It's a funny one. So they're in there. It's just I really do think that treating them rather there is fishy. And the other thing's this, guy, treating. I don't know if treating does it because he's never done it while I've been on there, but I've only been on there for a year, so I don't really know much about the actual workings of that water. But one thing I will tell you now is Rother Valley floods regular. Now, people say that fish come out of the nature reserve into Rother Valley. Listen, that is not possible. It is not possible for them to do that. To do that, they'd have to swim through a gauze bush. And it's and anyone that knows what gauze is like, it is impossible. It's impossible to penetrate through, especially a bigger fish. It couldn't penetrate through that. It'd be impossible, honestly. It's and also the fencing. What are you going to do? Climb up fence? So that's, as far as I'm concerned, that's a load of bollocks. I may be wrong on that, but I don't think I am. I'll tell you that now. I've walked around here and I'm OCD on shit. Everyone knows that. Who knows me? And I've walked around and checked it to see if it's viable, and it's not doable. I'll tell you now. The only way that they could do it is if they come in via what we call Rovmire, which is, it's like a little stock pond at the side of Rother Valley, that side. But when it was flooded, we walked around that side, and it weren't not up to the top of the thing, so they would have had to get out the pond and walk on the tail for a few meters to get into mozzie, Rother Valley. It's not possible. So that's where we're at. Back on mozzie, and I'm looking forward to it, and I'm really looking forward to it, guys. So keep an eye out for that, because baiting's going to start soon. I'm going to start fishing it beginning of February, I think. So check that one out.